So Patrick, do we describe this for everybody, Rob?
What?
You describe it. You describe it.
What?
I do enough talking.
For what?
I think any car's dead in iRacing. I think it's gone.
Oh, it's definitely. I agree. It's not going to survive much, but I still think we'll find opportunities to race it, just not as fruitful as before. Some of them just want to make. What's the thing? Like that guy wanted to make like dolls out of Tyler's hair, but then there's just other guys who are just like. He did. He would say weird things to Tyler, man. Like he was a strange guy, and then like other guys would just show up and he's like, "Oh, we never met you? Sure, come race this 24 with us," and then just jump in the car and wreck us out in a lap and be like, "Okay, never see you again."
Yeah, that
like,
was
okay. Well, better luck next year, I guess.
That was the guy from.
The Palace of Speed. The chaos early on in this race. Hello and welcome to round 8 of season 12 of the Spec-5 World Tour from the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. This is a classic road racing course nestling in the rolling countryside in Lexington, Ohio. It grew from relatively modest origins to become one of the most significant circuits in America with its lush green surroundings and challenging layout. Mid-Ohio is a firm favorite of both competitors and spectator alike, and why wouldn't they be? This is a fantastic racetrack from the United States. My name is Alex Andersen. I'm joined in the commentary booth by Stephen Finch with Adam Thompson in our virtual production truck. And Stephen, I believe it's my first broadcast with you, my friend. How are you looking forward to this race?
Man, I'm looking forward to this race. If this race is anything like the AMS series on Tuesday night, this is going to be a good race. Good close battles. This track is a tricky track, especially coming down into those S's. And that whole back section of the track is where you could really make or break. So
Yeah, Thunder Valley, all those sections of this racetrack, the carousel. But Mitchell Peak, after last week, leads the championship standings by quite a substantial amount. I believe that's 26 points, if my math serves me right. Mike Dam is in second there with 579. Ronnie Coates in third. Otis Adams Jr. in fourth. Rui Coimbra in fifth. Now the overlays are having a little bit of fun. Here's the open class standings. If Steven, you want to take us through them.
So we have Kevin Copland here in first with Andrew Kosek in second. Then we have Jose Gonzalez in third. The top two have a good close battle with only 5 points difference. And then then we have fourth, we have Andrew Gillard, and fifth we have Gary D. Pereira.
Yeah, and now we're in qualifying. The overlays are having a little bit of fun. We're going to reload that for you guys right now. We're looking at Mike Dam, who, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was the winner last week. It was either him or Mitchell Peak, if my memory serves me right. And I tell you, half the time it doesn't. But Mike Dam out for his qualifying lap. This will be his out lap. You'll see him swerve to warm up these tires. And something I do want to mention, this is the home track for 3 drivers. Not even just 3. There's a lot of Spec-5 racers whose home track is this circuit, and those include Andrew Kosick, Andrew Gilliland, and Camden Hibbett, all from the Ohio area. So we'll see how they fare at their home race. And normally, I don't mean to be rude to some of the drivers who end up having their home races, but normally, Steven, I don't think you would know this because you haven't covered this series yet, but normally when a driver has his or her home race, it normally doesn't fare very well for him. It's almost like a curse.
It's almost as bad as that commentator's curse, and I don't think that just applies to the Spec-5. I've seen that in a bunch of series where they're at a home track and they just don't end up doing as well as they do.
Yeah, and here we go. We're going to go on board with one of the fastest drivers in this series, past champion, the 78 car of Rui Coimbra. He'll floor it out of the final corner and bring himself down to the line. It's a full throttle kink out of the carousel to bring you down the front straightaway. Then into turn 1, you head onto the Cooper Tires Bridge. It's a sweeping 90-degree left-hander to bring you towards the first short straightaway on this track. And it's a pretty decent corner there for Rui Coimbra. You just got to send it down into third gear and hope for the best pretty much. Now, full throttle up here to the keyhole hairpin. You'll go uphill, then as soon as you get to the center of the corner, there's going to be a grade change right about there. And you'll start heading downhill through the keyhole, full throttle on the exit. It's a pretty decent corner for Rui Coimbra. I reckon he might be able to improve there. It's going to be full throttle from here to turn number 4. Bit of a full throttle kink right here that you'll see these drivers just navigate with as little wheel input as possible down towards turn number 4. Rui Coimbra will get hard on the brakes right about there. He'll go from 4th gear down into 2nd, about 72 miles an hour at the apex, back full throttle into the 2nd S, and then it'll be another 90-degree corner into a sweeping right-hander. And you'll see him brake. He'll stay in 2nd gear for it. There's no real corners where you need 1st gear. Into a left-hand kink under a Honda bridge. Then into Thunder Valley. Now it's an easy place to wreck the car through a full throttle kink, then hard onto the brakes to do another 90-degree corner. Grade change right as you get the car back straight, so really easy to spin the car out there with how light it can get. Into a bit of a kink, that you have to lift just a little bit for you. Hear it there, stays in 3rd gear, and then into the carousel. You're going to see drivers. They're going to enter on the inside, wash out to the middle of the track, and cut it back to the inside to go full throttle from there to the finish.
I just want to add in that turns 4 through 11 are all tricky corners, and being able to navigate those things with precision like these drivers are is a real feat. I mean, you get a good view of it when you're on the when we were on the onboard there, but as we saw it, you're coming up over some of these hills and they're just blind downhills, and you just got to trust and have the track memorized.
Yeah, Andrew Koslick, this is his home track here as he heads into the keyhole. Speaking of those grade changes, Steven, there's a pretty big one in that corner as you're coming uphill into that corner, and as soon as you turn in, it goes downhill. You can see the hill that's pretty much in the first half of that corner right there in the background of that shot. Andrew Koslick down the hill at his home track. We'll see what he can do. He's in the fight for the Open Clash Championship, and what a good day it would be for him if he could put himself into the points lead at his home track. Camden Hibbett on a provisional pole at the moment with a 1:36.414, best Rui Coimbra by about 2.5 tenths of a second, and he'll break into turn number 4 at his home track. It's been a while since Camden Hibbett has been in the winner's circle in this series. You think maybe that he could break the curse of drivers not performing well at their home tracks and maybe get one for himself here tonight?
I apologize for that, Alex. I had some off-screen things I was doing with, but no.
Oh, no problem.
These grades are going to
Who's
be.
off?
Ooh, who's off? Here we have Hibbett. He just had an off track.
Yeah, so that was through Thunder Valley, if I'm not mistaken. Don't mean to interrupt you there, but it looks like he
go
got
ahead.
a little. Yeah, it looks like he got a little wide out of that corner, tagged the grass. And Ronnie Coates up to second there with a 1:36.4, and I've got word that our producer is trying to break down the door to the commentator's booth.
I don't think we should let him in.
Well, I'm coming in anyways, guys. I do
his
want to mention as beautiful paint job there from Ray Lombardi. It looks like, if my trading paints are working correctly, which I hope they are, no ghosts on his car tonight. This is obviously a Ghostbusters themed paint job, but I want to remind you, Alex, of what happened into the keyhole hairpin last season here at Spec-5.
That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in this series. Ray Lombardi was just so sick of driving this car that he says, to hell with it, I'm going to give the broadcast a show and just full throttles the keyhole hairpin. If it was really, probably would have had to have if this was really, probably would have needed to be airlifted to the nearest hospital. My God, it was one hell of a hit. We'll see if Ray Lombardi can improve on his laps here and see if he can perhaps not destroy his car because he's angry. So we'll see what happens. I think, Steven, I think now you see why I love this series so much. The drivers put on a show.
And you know, I've done a fair bit of road racing, but one thing, you know, I started off in Miatas, but I didn't spend a whole lot of time there. So I'm excited to see what these top Miata drivers can do and see, you know, them really pushing these cars to the limit. And, you know, just based off the qualifying here, I think we're in for a real exciting race, and it's going to be just nonstop with this course. This course is tricky.
Yeah, and you'll see that with the I ratings there on the left, on the right of the timing tower, you'll see what class of road racing these drivers are and how much I rating they have. And Mike Dam, if I'm not mistaken, has the most of the field there with a 5.6K. That is just absolutely incredible to have an I rating that high.
Well, and not only that, I mean, we have multiple drivers that are above 3K. I mean, that in itself, and in any of the leagues that I've been involved with, you know, having multiple drivers over 3K, 3.5K is kind of a feat of strength in itself, and it shows how respected this league is when these guys have, with these high I ratings, are still coming in to race these leagues.
Yeah, and look at this, Andrew Koslick at his home track. Oh, he gets a little loose there through the S's. He'll keep it back on track. Oh, and it'll go around. But so far on provisional pole in the open class at his home track, so he could be trying to break the curse already.
I mean, I hope that he does get to break the curse, because I mean, we had, what, 4 drivers with the home track, 4 or 5 drivers with the home track. You know, that'd be a pretty big hit to their to that timing tower to see 4 or 5 drivers go out. So, here we have another spin for
That's a really nice trip through Thunder Valley.
Yeah, it was a good save. It just shows the testament of these guys' car control on these cars, you know.
All right, so Steven, I have a question for you. Are you excited for Formula One tomorrow?
I've watched all 24 hours of preseason testing, and first thing I'm going to do tomorrow when I wake up is turn on practice.
All right, well, then I'm going to introduce you to something. Have you ever thought of Miatas as Formula One cars? Have you ever thought about that? ever thought about that? Just question.
I haven't thought about that.
All right, well, I'm going to introduce you to not DRS trains, but to draft trains. And what I mean by that is these cars are so infuriatingly slow that down the straightaways at this track, these cars will be able to maintain a pack of usually 0.5 of a second between each car or less just off of that draft. And because of that, most of the moves you will see at this place are heading into turn 4. But Steven, you know what? I'll give you your first interview in the series. We're talking to Otis Adams Jr. right now. We're looking at him on track right now after his laps. So Steven, take it away.
Hey Otis, how are you feeling about tonight's race?
Not great. I haven't practiced at all week until about a few hours before the race, and got a 1X on my last lap there. Otherwise, I'd be around like 10th right now, but just try to survive.
So, survival is the name of the game there. What's your game plan for tonight? How are you going to, make up spots, and how are you planning to attack this race, knowing that you didn't have the greatest of qualifying, which has happened to us all?
Well, people have a habit of dive bombing here and clipping grass and dying, so plan to make up spots by capitalizing on others' mistakes and not making any myself.
So talk me through your plan on race start. Are you planning on, kind of taking it easy, or are you going to push it from the moment go?
Depends how it works out. If a spot's there to take, I'll take it, but I'll mostly be trying to play it safe, looking in the rearview mirrors. I got dive bombed and taken out last season when we came here, so looking for that.
Looking for a little redemption from last season. I see. What's your favorite part of this track?
Hot lapping, it's really fun. Racing it is really painful.
Hey, Otis, Adam Thompson down here from the production booth, and I just had to break down the door one more time to hop in here and let you know and let everybody know, okay? Fellow Indiana native here, and if you don't go full send from turn 1, are you really from Indiana?
I'm not from Indiana, so maybe that's why.
Oh, no. Well, never mind then. I'm going to go back down in here into my little hole.
Yeah, get your foot out of your mouth, okay?
Yeah, come on. Work the cameras. That's your job.
If slightly under 2 years as a native, then maybe I count, but might need a little more time than that.
Well, so I'm from Colorado. My wife's a native from Colorado, and her logic is if you marry somebody from that state, you become a native. Did you marry someone from Indiana?
Nope, she's from Virginia too. So
do you want to marry me, Otis?
I'll ask the wife. We'll see if she's okay with that. See you guys.
All right, Otis. You had good luck tonight and have a good race.
Thanks.
Yeah, so that was pretty entertaining pre-race. About 3 minutes till qualifying ends, and so far only a couple more cars out on track. David Staub, one car on pretty decent pace right now. If we can look at him, here he is heading into Thunder Valley. He's purple sector 1, green sector 2. If I'm not mistaken, at least from the races I watched, I've never seen this 36 car head into victory lane at the end of one of these races. He'll head through the 3rd sector. It's another green sector, so he's improved a lot on this lap. You think he can get there?
I do think he can get there. He's sitting P3 overall right now. In qualifying, he had a little mistake going into the Thunder Valley, and as he come into the carousel, let's see if he can comes exiting in the carousel. Let's see how well what his lap time's going to be. He got yellow sector 4. But that moves him up to P2 and only 0.2 off the leader. I'm thinking we're gonna have a good close race here.
Jordy Fike just having a little picnic in the tire barrier right there.
We all got to do that every now and then, just kind of collect ourselves.
I think Ray Lombardi had a little bit more than a picnic in the keyhole last time we were here.
Hey, Alex, so I just wanted to hop back in one more time. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Can we kick him out?
I will leave you alone, I promise, during the race. But just wanted to give a big shout-out. You mentioned Ray Lombardi, Jordy Fike, Andrew Kosick, Mitchell Peak. All of those guys, all of these drivers that you see on track tonight are also admins in this league. And just a big shout-out to them. You guys don't get enough credit during the stream sometimes for the league that you guys have put together and the amount of racing, great racing that we see week in, week out. So thank you guys for that.
Also, Adam, before you go back in your hole, I do have a question for you. You know how my PC tends to restart like once every Spec-5 race?
Yes.
Have you made like a little graphic for that where we can guess when my PC is going to restart?
You know what? I forgot, but guys, come next Thursday, get ready for when will Alex's PC restart poll, and I'll go ahead and put it in the YouTube chat as well.
All right, sweet. Because there could also be you gotta have some options in there. You gotta have like maybe first 15 minutes, like 15 minutes to 30 minutes through the race, during qualifying, or like in the final 15 minutes, or there could be an option where like it doesn't restart at all. But that honestly would be a miracle. So we'll see what happens.
And we'll for this poll, we'll go ahead and put those options in there, Alex, and winner gets a signed photograph from Alex Andersen.
What would the photograph be of? Like my mouse or something?
I think it's got to be a professional headshot.
I think it could be a picture of my cat.
Suit and tie, professional headshot.
Your professional headshot. I'll put it in the broadcast text right now. I got you. Just give me a second.
I mean,
so anyways, before Adam and Steven start laughing from what I'm about to put in the broadcast text. This is your starting grid for tonight. Mike Dam on pole with a 135.7. David Staub just under 2/10 behind him there in second. Cameron Hibbett in third. Rui Coimbra in fourth. Michael Coates in fifth. Mitchell Peak in sixth, Ronnie Coates in seventh, Eugenio Felici in eighth, Greg Mack in ninth, Zach Burke makes his first appearance in a while there in 10th, Andrew Kosek at his home track is on pole for the open class there in 11th, Jordy Fike is in 12th, behind them, Jose Gonzalez, the second open car in the field there in 13th, Sean Hayes in 14th, Orlando Harrell makes a three-car train on the inside lane there in 15th, Paulo Coimbra in 16th, Lee Martin in 17th, Ray Lombardi in 18th, Otis Adams Jr. in 19th, Jerry DiPiero in 20th, Brian Zabelski in 21st, Tom Athan in 22nd, Adam showing his support through the SDK chat up top, Andrew Gilland in 23rd, Charles Vaccaro in 24th, a little bit further behind them, Ken Copeland there in 25th, Eric Schulhoff in 26th, and David Tamira in 27th. Those bottom three did not set a lap time, so they will have to start from the back of the grid as a result. And Steven, as I find this picture, you're looking forward to this race tonight, because I can guarantee you it's going to be a show.
You know, no, not at all. It's going to be so boring. I'm not excited about it at all. It's going to be a great race.
Well, first of all, the both of you look in broadcast chat, and actually that's very smart, because if you think the race is going to be like, if you think it's going to be the worst race you've ever seen in your entire life, I mean, that's just like, it can only get better from there. You know what I mean? Like, I know I worded that terribly, but do you know what I mean by that? Maybe?
No, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to contain my laughter here. of what we were just exposed to.
That's me. That's the best picture I've ever taken of myself. I wish we could show that on stream. All right, perfect.
Thank you.
I gotta open up the stream on my phone now so I can see when it pops up. But when that terrifying demon of an image comes up, that is myself. I took that picture probably a month ago or two. But let's get the race underway now. As the iRacing safety car are going to dive into the safety of the pit lane. Now it's all up to the drivers as they round the carousel and the kink. Green flag is out, and we are racing at Mid-Ohio. It's a pretty good start from Mike Dam on the inside. David Staub matches it, though, and he does a bit better as they head towards turn number 1 with a run from Rui Coimbra on his tail. Under the Cooper Tires bridge, Mike Dam with the advantage on the inside there. It looks like David Staub going to keep it even as Mike Dam hits the curb. Cameron Hibbett at his home track gets into P3 there. Rui Coimbra going to send one around the outside. David Staub into the lead as they head into the keyhole for the first time, and 2x2 behind him.
Man, going too wide into this keyhole. These guys are brave doing that. I mean, we got off track. Mike Dam's off track. Mike Dam just got pushed wide. Let's see if he can get it back on track and pick safely. How far does he fall? He falls from P2 to P10.
And the fall from
P11.
After starting, yeah, he's
P12,
still going
down.
He might end up sub P15 after turn number 4, as now he'll get a shot from Paulo Coimbra into this corner, and he will end up in 15th. However, Cameron Hibbett battling battling David Staub for the lead at Camden's home track. Camden will clear him through the S's now as they head towards Thunder Valley. David Staub leads on lap 1, and already Camden Hibbett taking that away. There's been 3 different leaders just on the opening lap of this race. Mitchell Peak still in striking distance behind him as well.
Wow, what an opening lap we have here. You know, these guys are still bumper to bumper as they're coming into the carousel. I want to see how. I'm curious of how if Staub is going to get any gutsy coming out into turn 1 and getting onto that first main straight. He's going to hold it nice and tight here, going around into the carousel as we come back as we're about to come onto the start-finish straight.
Yeah, so Camden Hibbett will end up leading lap 1. And the pole sitter back in 13th at the moment. Camden Hibbett sets the fastest lap so far with a 1:44.9. It'll be improved by one driver that we don't know yet at the end of this lap. Already 2 minutes in. And so far we got some action. Zach Burke throwing it into the grass to make a move on, if I'm not mistaken, it's Michael Coates back there into the keyhole. Zach Burke threw his right sides into the grass there to try and get that done, and he will get it done down into turn number 2 as Camden Hibbett tries to pull away from the rest of the field, but with this slipstream down this back straightaway, there's no way he's going to be able to pull away. Watch David Staub come right up back to his bumper here.
This is a long straight where they have a lot of time, and if you get a good run out of that, you're not going anywhere off that bumper. But here we come back into the S's into turn 4 or 5. You know, there's still, you know, there's only half a tenth. Let's see what can be made here. But if Staub can make up any time here, this is where this is the part of the track where he comes in. But we have Peak coming in right behind him, being real close.
Yeah, and there's 4 open class cars in a singular train right here, led by Andrew Cossack at his home track. Jose Gonzalez in second, Coimbra in third, Orlando Harrell in fourth for the open class, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th overall. But Andrew Cossack, I think he's led a race before in the series. He might have actually won a race before, and I just don't remember. But it would be extra special for him to get a win at his home track, especially because at the moment it would probably propel him into the lead of the open class point standings as they round the carousel now. So hopefully Andrew Cossack can secure that home win, maybe break the home track curse for a lot of these drivers. So far, Camden Hibbett looks to be doing the same thing as Zach Burke sets the fastest lap with a 1:36.7 there from 5th, and David Staub still starting to close this gap down to the leader.
You know, here we have Zach Burke coming down. Camden Hibbett's coming down. Thank you, production. Coming down, and there's still, you know, this is as close as Staub's been. Let's see if we can get a good run out of the keyhole here and get right up onto him and maybe make our lunge into turn 4, turn 5, and see what he can make out of this. This is going to be a good tight race between these guys as we see how long that line is from the back from the bumper of Camden Hibbett. You know but we're 12 drivers deep, going all within a couple seconds of each other.
Yeah, Steven. Welcome to every Spec-5 race ever. This is how it is the entire time, except for Tsukuba 1000 Outer, which was, it was interesting to say the least. But every other race, it will be like this, and I've gotten word that the image of my face, that is the best picture I've ever taken of myself, will be coming up on screen shortly. So I'm waiting to see where it is on my phone, but if you see it right now, that's me. Yeah, that's really me. I took that like a month and a half ago. There it is. I see it on my phone now, because that is absolutely terrifying. I took that between 1 and 2 months ago when me and my friends were just spamming pictures of each other in a Snapchat group chat. And I ended up taking that one, and that is one that I definitely had to save because it is absolutely glorious. So I apologize for any of the viewers who might be scared and might have clicked off the stream after that one. But personally, I thought it was entertaining, to say the least, and Zach Burke sets the fastest lap once again with a 1:36.2 back to the racing action.
So I just want to say, for the poll that we have about Alex's computer shutting down mid-race, that is going to be the picture that is going to be signed by Alex and sent to the winner of that poll.
You know what? Deal. I'll do it. If somebody guesses when my PC restarts in this race or a race for the rest of the season, you'll get a signed photo of me, and it'll be that picture right there. You can frame it, hang it up on your wall, and just be reminded of your inner demons every time you try and go to sleep after having to look at that. So, good luck for the maybe potential winners of that. we'll wait and see what happens. So that'll be pretty fun. But Sean Hayes in 11th right now as we hopefully get back to the racing action for good at this time. As Sean Hayes, he's always been a fast driver. He dominated the open class last season, and just ever since he moved up to the pro class, it just hasn't really worked out in his favor as he rides in line behind Jordy Fike. And this is a really nice view, seeing exactly what the driver has to deal with around this racetrack.
You know, we could see, I was going to comment on this view, we can see just how some of these corners are. They can't see where they're going. They just have to, this track is one of those tracks that you really have to have memorized on coming into these corners and have your braking points memorized. And, you know, being able to do that, being so close behind some of these drivers, not being able to see very well. Oh, we just have Zach Burke pass Peak for P3.
Yeah, there he goes. Zach Burke will sail into the final step on the podium now as David Staub and Camden Hibbett start to make a little bit of a gap now, heading towards turn number 4. Camden Hibbett still leads. He's led ever since he took the lead on the first lap. It's still 7 minutes into this race out of 45, and Steven, in case you didn't know, they will have to pit around halfway through this race, so we're just going to have to wait and see when that time comes. So for tires, I will look at the broadcast notes. 2 tires are free. 4 tires cost 3 to 5 seconds as per usual. I can't find anything on what side tires these drivers are going to take, but I would assume with how many right-hand corners there are on this track, and this being a right-hand oriented racetrack, I assume they will be taking right side tires left side tires if they do take tires at all. And actually, 2 things that I want to mention. Best place to die, the keyhole and turn 5, the keyhole being the turn 2 hairpin and turn 5 being the second corner of the S's. And the most important exit is the keyhole, that hairpin once again, and turn 9, which if I'm not mistaken should be Thunder Valley. So these drivers haven't really died yet so far. Everybody's been making it through this race pretty cleanly as we're looking at Jerry DiPiero. Adam Thompson cheering for him once again. He's got to do this at least every race. You got to let Adam do it.
I mean, Adam kind of does whatever Adam wants. As we see, he just busts down doors and just be's rude to his broadcasters here.
That's what I'm saying. See, me and Randall, we would be quiet with it, but Steven, I'm glad that you're speaking out about it and letting the viewers know the issues that we have to deal with every day in the workplace. Honestly, it's honestly insane.
So here we go for a pass for that was Lombardi on Copland for 23rd.
No, that was Vaccaro on Lombardi for 22nd. To correct you real quick there.
Thank you.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I was looking at the wrong screen.
No, it's okay. Once you get used to this series, you'll be able to put names to cars, as I have been able to do, as covering this series for 4 seasons now. And I tell you what, I never get bored during a race in this series. It's just so entertaining to watch all these cars thunder through tracks all over the world. As Ray Lombardi hasn't full throttled turn 2 yet. Adam, I heard what you just said.
Coming in now.
I swear. I see. This is why we got it. This is why we got a boycott.
All right. Anyways, guys, I just want to give a few shout outs to the people sitting here in the stream watching it, commenting. I'm reading all your messages, guys, but they're trying to deadbolt the log. I've had to pick like 3 of them tonight to get back into the production booth. But
Adam, I'm going to interrupt you. I've been sitting here watching it, waiting for a spot to comment on some of these comments in the YouTube chat, so our lovely producer could do his job and let his commentators do their job.
Okay, well, I'll go back, but I just wanted to say, before you start commentating on all of these comments in the YouTube chat, just want to give a big old massive shout out to my coworker and my friend Billy Rogers. Thank you so much for watching the race, and thank you guys, everyone that's watching it right now. Simon Foweather said PC shut down in 3 minutes for Alex.
So Simon, we'll see what happens. Simon, what
happened?
Lombardi is dead, and I reckon he'll full throttle turn 2 again if he uses his faster pair. That'll take Ray Lombardi out of this race, and if I'm like, nope, he's already Alt F4'd, so he's already gone. Ray Lombardi, probably glad to get out of this race so early. He just does not like this track. This was out of turn number 1. It looks like he just tagged the grass, couldn't save it when he brought it back onto the racetrack. Catches some air there, spins across the track right in between the 15 and the 149 cars of Lee Martin, and I believe Not sure who the car was in front of him. That was a pretty big hit.
I'm gonna interrupt you there. We have James Barker in the chat, who before it is aired on YouTube came in and said just waiting to on Ray to send it into the fence again, like he was some kind of psychic there. Called it just right before it happened. So right. I mean that was a good call out.
So lap 8 of this race, 11.5 minutes in. Simon, talking to you in the chat, you made the prediction that my PC will restart in about 3 minutes at, I want to say, the 10.5 minute mark, so it will. So for you to win the signed photo of the best picture I've ever taken of myself, my PC has to restart at about 13 minutes and 30 seconds in, or honestly, just to be a little bit more fair, I'm going anywhere in the 13-minute range for you off of that guess. So we'll see if you win off that, but Zach Burke trying to make a move for a second. He's tired of watching David Staub in front of him, not making a move on Camden Hibbett, so he's going to go for it himself. He has help from Mitchell Peak down the back straightaway, just about even entering the corner. And it looks like through the S's, I reckon Zach Burke going to be able to take this spot with ease through turn number 5. Yes, he will there. Great move from Zach Burke.
Is Peak going to try to sneak by through? No, I thought Peak was going to try to follow him through. I think the gap was there. If it would have just happened just a hair faster, he would have lost 2 spots with one in that. That was some good heads-up driving by Saab there.
Yeah, and Staub back to P3 now, started second, so he's only down 1 spot, but I just want to take a mention to look at, you see the positions gained and lost by the drivers on the far right of the timing tower. I only just realized that Zach Burke has made up 8 spots so far. If I'm not mistaken, he started 8th, and he is currently 8 spots ahead of where he started. Yeah, he did start in 10th, so he's up 8 spots. That is absolutely incredible. So hats off to Zach Burke to be able to make up 8 spots in the first 15 minutes of this race to put himself in second right now. And heck, he might even be able to challenge for the lead down the back straightaway. And look at that lead pack.
Zach Burke is flying right now. He has made up so much time onto to Hibbett there. I'm wondering if he's going to be able to get him in the next lap or two. But I'm also wondering, what is this going to do for his fuel game? He's got to be expended a whole lot of fuel here. And, we got a long race. We still got 21 and a half minutes left, and we, as you said, they've got to do a pit stop. I wonder if the fuel strategy is going to come into any of this.
Yeah, it usually does. So they have 40% fuel, so they will have to make 1 pit stop during this race. And usually it comes around the halfway point for a lot of these drivers, but most of the time the pit window opens at maybe the 15 to 17 minute mark and closes from the 28 to 30 minute mark. And we've seen drivers stretch their fuel out for a while. And really, I mean, usually the pit window is open for about 10 laps. So there's a lot of time for these drivers to pit and still be able to make it to the end of the race. It all just depends on when. And that is the big question that has decided so many of the races in this series, is just when do you make that move to come down pit road? We'll see who can answer it the best tonight, as Zach Burke has gotten into the lead over Camden Hibbett. It's the first time a driver other than Camden Hibbett has led ever since the first lap. This was the move. It was heading into turn 4. Clean move to the inside for Zach Burke into turn number 4. He was able to sail along by before they even got to the second S.
I wonder if Camden Hibbett decided he hey, this driver's faster. Let's get him in the fuel game. Let's get into the draft. We can start lifting a little bit. Really sticking behind him instead of, being out in the lead there in front of a pack this close to that. You can't really fuel save or do any of that and try to stretch your stint, because you got to be going full throttle to keep these guys behind you. So I'm wondering if he came in and just had some thought process to himself. Hey, this guy's going full bore. Let's get to his bumper. Let's save some fuel. Yeah, I mean, this is the largest gap to third that we've seen.
Yeah, David Staub made up. Yeah, David Staub just made up about a 10th and a half on turn 4, so it looked like they might have started spreading out, but a pretty big run from David Staub on entry into that corner leads him to keep in touch with the top 2 cars. And Simon Foweather, I hate to tell you, buddy, but you missed the window for when my PC was going to restart. I'll be nice and give drivers multiple guesses, but there could also be a chance that it doesn't restart. And Honestly, you know, I think I want to add a rule. If somebody guesses that my PC doesn't restart and it doesn't restart, I don't want that to count. If you want to win the signed photograph of me, you have to guess when my PC restarts, if it does restart. And so far, we're going good this race. And actually, I probably just cursed myself there. But, so we'll see what happens. So if any other of you want to throw your guesses in the YouTube chat, and Steven or Adam can point them out, and we'll see what happens here. David Staub still trying to get up to, or back up to second.
So I have one question for Adam. What happened to Mr. Dam there? He was sitting P12, and now he's all the way back to P22.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, I don't see any incidents on our timing screens here. Yeah. So Gazzy Boy says it won't restart. So Gazzy, so are we allowing not restarting or no?
So honestly, I want.
Okay.
Oh, so Mike Dam has pitted. So is Eugenio Polici and Otis Adams Jr.
But see, I think that's smart for Mike Dam to pit there. I think that was a good strategy. We know he's got, but we know he's got the pace. So, you know, our producer just came in and said he's out of the draft, but he's got the pace. He's got the raw pace. Now this gives him a little bit more clear track to kind of open it up and try to undercut some of the drivers ahead of him that maybe he was stuck behind because there was a draft train going on.
Yeah, and he actually, sorry to interrupt you, but Mike Dam actually just set the fastest lap of the session last time by with a 1:35.9. The only driver, if I'm not mistaken, to hit the 1:35s so far.
We have Greg Mark with a 1:35.99. Sean Hayes with a 1:35.96.
Oh, I'm blind.
And P21. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name right now. With the
Eugenio Polici.
Thank you. I'm terrible with names.
Oh, there it is. There's the best time. So Michael Coates actually has the fastest lap. I was just looking at the last lap, not the best lap. That's my mistake.
But realistically, out of that last lap that he just did when he knocked out that 135, everybody else was in the 136s. So if he can keep a low 136, mid to high 135, I mean, he'll jump some spots up, and I think there was a good strategy on his part. You know, I'm wondering. Kevin Hibbs on the inside of turn 5, going in for P1, pushing him wide. Let's see, is Zach Burton gonna hold into the inside?
Yeah, Zach fought back through the second S, and he'll fight back through this kink right now, heading towards Thunder Valley. Zach Burke maintains the lead there and setting some more ground rules for the when my PC restart. Gassy Boy, I heard you said it will not restart, but honestly, to win the signed photograph, I think I mentioned this earlier. To win the signed photograph, you gotta win. You gotta guess when my PC restarts, if it restarts. So you can say it won't restart, which honestly, so far it's looking good. But honestly, I want to say you have to guess when my PC restarts, if it restarts. So if you say it doesn't restart, not a winner. I mean, I'll send you the picture that I put in broadcast text, and you can like print it out, but it won't be signed.
So the signed portion is if you guess the time. You can print out if you guess if it just doesn't restart. So. Okay. I was looking at something else. I was going to lead into something else. But what I want to hit back onto this strategy here. You know, I'm wondering if we're going to see any of the top, the top 7 try to dive in for an early pit to try to maybe undercut. You know, I think that I'm wondering if these guys are going to try to undercut one another by pitting first, or we're going to go to say, hey, who's going to blink first?
Yeah, so there's the pit laps of the drivers that have already pitted. Brian Zabelski and Andrew Gilliland pitted on lap 10. Mike Dam and Otis Adams Jr. on lap 8. And Eugenio Polici, the only car to come into the pits on lap 9. We're on lap 13 now, about 2 minutes shy of the halfway mark. So the pitch cycles are going to start to heat up soon. I reckon most of the drivers are going to pit a little past the halfway mark. That's usually when we see most of the pit stops. So we're looking at Greg Mack sitting in P10 right now, and we'll see what happens on this lap. We'll see if anybody takes to the pit lane. Oh, Zach Burke, hell of a save there. And
great save, but how many spots is he going to lose? Because he's got lose a lot of speed going down the straight. There's one. Is he going to get?
I think he only lost one. I think he only lost the lead there. Yeah, that's insane. Wow.
I don't know that exit.
Oh, David Staub saving.
Good
yes, he did.
Save. You know, if I was David Staub, I would pit right now. I would pit. I would pit this lap. You're not going to lose nothing. I would pit this lap, and see what I can make up on my out lap. Yeah, Andrew Kosick went off track at 22:22. I don't know what lap that was. Lap 12? What lap? Yeah, lap 12. He went off track.
Yeah, so here it is. This is heading. This was actually out of Thunder Valley, heading into the carousel. Might be exactly no, it's a bit different from what Zach Burke did. He gets into the grass on entry, clobbers that wall. That's definitely a broken right front tire. So the home track curse biting Andrew Kosick there. So far, it hasn't bit Camden Hibbett, who still leads this race on lap 14.
You know, and so Camden Hibbett, this is also his. I'm not going to commentators curse him, so I'm going to keep that one to myself, actually. But as we see, Gazzy Bear over here is making a comment of with how these guys are making saves, they should be being goalkeepers for soccer. I could not agree more. These guys are making saves that are pretty spectacular.
Yeah, so the pit cycle now officially underway as two of the drivers inside the main pack into the pits now. 4 cars, actually, is David Staub. Like you mentioned, Steven, you got it perfect. David Staub heads into the pits the lap he makes that mistake. And Greg Mack is in the pits with him as well. Michael Coates and Rui Coimbra also in their stalls at the moment. So we'll see. Looks like no tires for anybody right now, so they're confident in the tires that they have. It looks like David Staub going to end up taking left sides here. He will be able to do this while still refueling the car, so he will not be affected by that. But it looks like, judging off of where Rui Coimbra and Michael Coates exited the pits, I don't think that David Staub is going to be able to get himself back up into the main pack.
No, I think he'll be able to get him back up to the main pack. I think it's going to be a little bit of work. But I think, we got a long way left. We got 21 and a half minutes left. I think that, he showed some good pace. I think that he might be able to make his way back up, especially he took those fresh left sides. That's really going to help him to these guys that didn't take any, specifically the left sides. Because, those tires are just going to go away. I mean, you could hear it when we were on those onboards. Those tires are really screeching coming around. And so I think that it could help him. Let's see how those tires do for him as on his outlap here.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens now. Is I honestly, if I'm one of these drivers, I think I would end up taking tires. But more of the leaders into the pits now is Camden Hibbett, Mitchell Peak, Jordy Fike, and Sean Hayes all into the pit lane. Jose Gonzalez, the first open class car in that main pack to head into the pits as well. We'll see if any of the other open class drivers head into the pits as well. It looks like so far none of them. Ken Copeland, the next driver that will be able to enter the pits. It looks like he's going to stay out on track. There's only 2 open drivers into the pits so far. You see Mitchell Peak taking tires there. Camden Hibbett didn't, if my eyes serve me right. So Camden Hibbett not taking tires. There's Zach Burke gonna maintain the lead here with Ronnie Coates just over a second behind him. And then the open class drivers about 10 seconds back between Orlando Harrell and Paulo Coimbra as they head through the full throttle Kinkin towards turn number 4.
I'm curious as to how much longer Zach Burke can go. We saw him gain 9 positions in the opening 15 minutes, and he has been racing hard ever since. So I'm curious of how much fuel he has left, or does he have to pit this time around? Because this could hurt him. You know, he could come in and he could just make one small mistake in the pit lane, and it could hurt him. I mean, I think this is a little bit of gamble going in long. Yeah, without draft, exactly. I think he's going to go around again. No, oh no, he isn't. Sorry, that's running coats. Excuse me, I'm getting my cars confused. As Alex stated, you know, I don't have them memorized like he does.
Yeah, so Zach Burke into the pit lane now. Paulo Coimbra, another open class car, into the pit lane as well.
He's taking tires.
Behind Orlando Harrell, yeah. So Zach Burke thinks it's best to take tires. We'll see where Camden Hibbett is. He's into the carousel right now. You'll see him head off the final corner. Zach Burke needs to exit his stall just about now as Camden Hibbett now heading through that last corner. He's that last car in that long line of cars. So here's the relative Camden Hibbett actually behind a lot of these lead pack cars that are already pitted. Zach Burke going to be able to get himself pretty well in that main pack as Rui Coimbra actually leading the field. And look at that, Mike Dam is back up into the lead pack. After pitting early from that mistake, he was setting some great lap times. He just set the fastest lap time actually with a 1:35.7, and he will put himself back into contention for this race. That's absolutely incredible.
I'm just gonna say that I called that one there. With that early pit really helped him, giving him that clear air. You know, the draft would have helped a lot. You know, save fuel and all that, but you know, him being able to have that open air, you know, really helped, allowed him to really crank out those lap times. You know, make up the time where that if he was stuck behind, if he was stuck behind someone, say that was, you know, a half a second slower than his natural race pace. Oh, do we just see Hibbett get around Burke for what would be, you know, no, because everybody's pit for P10. I was going to call it the net lead, but it's not the net lead because almost everybody in front of him has pitted besides Dan. Can we pull up the pit stops again? Oh, you're right. I'm looking at them. So the net lead actually goes to one of the open drivers of Cope.
Yeah, so
no.
Orlando Harrell stays out.
He's fallen down the order now.
Yeah, so Orlando Harrell, he stayed out and he'll maintain the lead for now. Same thing for Jerry DiPiero. So Orlando Harrell, the leader not off of speed or pit stops. He's the leader off of not having pit yet. Yeah, so Rui has the provisional lead at the moment with Mike Dam chasing him. Ronnie Coates has a pretty good stop that'll bring him up into this lead pack. And something happened to Zach Burke that I'm pretty sure I might not have been paying attention. And I missed it, but he's back in this second pack, and judging off of where he exited the pits, I don't think 17. That's where he's supposed to be, so it looks like he wrecked behind Camden Hibbett. This is on his own, heading to the King towards the carousel. He might have gotten loose into here again like he did that first time and saved it. Yes, he did, and this time he doesn't save it, and he does it pretty... He kind of saved it there. Jordy Pike and Sean Hayes have to really check up. Good on them for not hitting Zach Burke there, but that makes a pretty large second pack. Is now back up to Orlando Harrell. I assume he will have to pit this lap as well as Jerry DiPiero, who Jerry will have the leaders coming up on him shortly. Yeah, but Orlando Harrell fighting for points for laps led at the moment as he's still going to stay out, so he's really trying to stretch the fuel run here.
I mean, this has got to be his pit lap. I don't see him going much longer. I mean, yeah, this has got to be his pit lap. I mean, he being able to do almost 30 minutes on a tank of fuel is just, it's a testament to being able to fuel saving.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, we've seen people stretch fuel runs out like this before, but this definitely goes up there as one of the more extreme ones that I have seen. And Orlando Harrell is pulling it off with flying colors at the moment, and he's actually maintaining a pretty decent gap to the lead cars behind him. He's running some really solid laps at the moment for a driver that has been out this long. And yeah, like you said, I assume he'll just come into the pits this lap. I don't see how he couldn't, as Jerry DiPiero into the pits, so that leaves Orlando Harrell as the only car in the field that is yet to make a pit stop.
So, yeah. So is he? I'm curious if is he going to come around and pit this lap? I mean, I'd be truly shocked if he wasn't going to come around and pit this lap. Let's see as we come around the carousel.
Yeah. So,
but here we go. Whoa. Matt,
Here's a
Mike
replay.
Dam
Mike
is in
Dam.
the net lead now.
Yeah, he got a really nice run out of that keyhole. We've talked about that the keyhole is one of the most important exits on this track, and Mike Dam got a really good one there to sail around the inside of Rui Coimbra down this back straightaway. He clears him, it looks like, before he even gets to turn number 4, so easy move from Mike Dam there, as it looks like Orlando Harrell still not into the pits.
How is he staying out this long? We are 31 minutes into the race. I'm shocked. Truly shocked.
That's without a doubt the longest I've ever seen somebody go on a tank of fuel in this series. I honestly really did not expect that at all.
I mean, that is pure shocking. Here we have Greg Mack. I've called him Mark now twice. I apologize for that, Greg. Hey, coming in, going up against with Staub. Is he going to get him on the inside?
Yeah, and it looks like he's not able to just yet. Staub still has his nose in right there. He might be able to side draft a little bit heading into the keyhole. He'll have to be aggressive here if he wants to get it. As actually, I've yet to point it out this race, the light's starting to turn on for these cars as they head deeper into the night here from Mid-Ohio. Greg Mack trying to get a switchback, though, down the back straightaway. He will get there. He'll pull up right alongside and even get his nose out in front of David Staub down into turn number 4. We'll see if they keep it even. David Staub already improving his impressive entries into turn number 4. He's probably got the best entry in turn 4 of anybody in this series. A little bit loose for Greg Mack, but David Staub is going to be able to take that position away.
You know, that was really close there. I thought Otis was going to go into him.
No way.
You know,
there's no way.
He stayed out again. How? This is not feasible.
Wow.
We are 21 laps into this race, and he has yet to pit. You know,
somebody needs to check the 421 garage to make sure that they don't have maybe a little bit more fuel than everybody else does, but that is absolutely insane.
I was going to make sure
speechless.
Our producer was doing his job and actually got the pit stops right. Maybe he pitted nice and early.
I don't think even if he did pit early, he was leading the open class before the pit stop started, and I don't think he is that fast considering his last lap was a 1:37.2. His best lap so far is a 1:36.2, so I don't think he's been setting those kind of laps to have already pitted. Yeah, Paulo just ran a 1:37.2, so Orlando is clear into the lead of this race. Mike Dam's still the net leader, so Orlando still, there's no way he doesn't have to pit. If he doesn't have to pit, I'm calling shenanigans.
I think we all are at that point in time. Here he comes around the carousel again. Is he going to hit the pit entries? Or Thunder Valley, you're right. No, that's
Thunder Valley. He's heading towards the carousel right now through two almost full throttle kinks. The second one we mentioned, you got to lift a little bit for it there. You hear the lift as he heads through there. I'm actually going to start a riot if he doesn't pit this lap. So we'll see what happens.
He's not going to pit. He's not going to pit.
I'm starting a riot.
How? I am just at a...
Hold on, we're listening to see if he's lifting at all and coasting. He's not coasting at all.
He's only about three-quarters throttle right now. Listen to that hum, though.
Yes, I mean, he would be if he was trying to save fuel, he'd be shifting early, and he'd be shifting a lot earlier to keep the revs lower. But he's going all the way through the gear.
Adam, can we get rid of the timing tower for just a second? I want to see if I can see his dash. I've got to know how much fuel this guy has. Let's see when he comes around turn 4. We get a nice good look to see if we can see how much.
It's not going to show. It only shows your fuel on your dash, but I don't know. I don't know at this point. I actually don't know.
I'm at a loss for words of how he has gone 22 and a half laps and not pitted. I don't know. I know that's what we've been talking about for the last, 5-6 minutes now, but it is just astonishing.
And there might have been a little bit of a kerfuffle in the provisional lead pack is Mike Dam and Mitchell Peak, the only 2 cars within striking distance of each other for the lead, as they have pulled about over a 1.5 gap back to Camden Hibbett in 4th, and he finally, Orlando finally gonna make the right-hand turn onto the pit lane. So so I don't really want to say thanks. I'm gonna stop talking.
He's gonna have it. This guy's got it. He's gonna play it right. He's gonna short fuel. He'll be out in P10 because.
Yeah, so there you see Jose Gonzalez heading to the carousel right now. He'll be full throttle right about there. He's that car, the car that's just crossing the start finish line. So yeah, here he is. We'll see if he can catch up to Orlando Harrell. Orlando out of the pits now, so I think, or no, there's Orlando. So Jose Gonzalez already in front of Orlando Harrell. So Jose Gonzalez clear into the lead of this race for the open class by about 4.5 seconds. So Orlando Harrell definitely got a lot of good bonus points for laps led there, but unfortunately it looks like unless Jose Gonzalez makes a major mistake, he's not going to be in the fight for the win.
Yeah, I think that's maybe what he's going through. Maybe he knew that he didn't have the pace to win it overall, and I'm going to run it as long as I can to maximize my points. It all depends on what strategy he's trying to run, and I know there's been some courses that I've raced that I'm just trying to sit there, just like I'm just trying to maximize points. Let's be safe. Yeah. Let's maximize points. So maybe that's what's going through his head. Let's maximize points. His fastest lap was a 1:36.2.
Oh, 1:36.1.
No.
Yeah, so Orlando Harrell's fastest lap, but no, Adam, we are correct. Actually,
it is a 1:36.2. Thank you, Adam, for butting it again.
1:36.214.
It's on the overlays, Adam.
Yeah, so Orlando Harrell. We finally got back at our producer there for telling us to look at the overlays. Orlando Harrell's fastest lap is a 1:36.2, so he's been setting some decent laps, but just unfortunately wasn't able to keep good enough pace with the leaders, but actually started to close the gap down to Jose Gonzalez just a little bit. So we'll see if he might be able to maybe make a move late in this race, as these drivers, this is what they don't need to be doing right now, trying to catch up to the lead pack. Ronnie Coates and Michael Coates fighting for the spot is going to slow them down. The gap already at 1.8 tenths of a second, and it is increasing between Mitchell Peak and Camden Hibbett for second and third. So at this point, Camden Hibbett might just have to settle for a podium at his home track if he can try and maintain spots. But I tell you, this duel for the win between these 2 cars, if that second pack does not catch up, this duel for the win is going to be absolutely insane.
If Mike Dam wins this, he would have played the perfect race. Made a mistake, dropped a bunch of places down, had adjusted his strategy. This is how you win races, these that are this long, that are, where it's a sprint race, but you still got to put some strategy in it to get it. Mike Dam, if he can come in and win this, he would have had the perfect race. At one point in time, he was all the way down at P22. Yep. To come back after the pit stop cycle and be P1 with, besides Mitchell Peak, they got a good healthy 2.5 second lead to P3.
1.7 second lead.
I'm talking about from Mike Dam. I added them.
Oh, I'm not very smart. My bad.
It's okay. So all he's got to do is just focus forward, keep Mitchell Peak behind him, hit his marks, and he would have ran a perfect race, and he's still holding the fastest lap of the race with a 1:35.728. So let's see if he can keep at it. We know he's got the pace.
Yeah, and you're looking at Charles Vaccaro chasing Eugenio Polici now, and Adam, before the race for the win really starts to actually, hold that thought, because I think might be a move for the lead going on right now. Yes, there is Mitchell Peak trying to get the lead. Mike Dam gonna let him by, trying to minimize time loss.
Nope,
so
he was gonna try to over under.
Yeah, into the S's, and these two going side by side is gonna really allow the second pack to start to catch up, as they have to go a lot slower than normal. So Camden Hibbett needs so the gap just closed. It's already maybe a second, as they go side by side in the Thunder Valley. Yeah, Camden is going to put himself back into draft range now, so that might have just brought the second pack back into contention. Yeah, it will. The gap is under 0.6 of a second, so just off of Mike Dam and Mitchell Peak having to race for that long, Camden Hibbett is back up in the lead. But Adam, it's that time of the race. Let's give one of these drivers the back marker salute. Eric Schulhoff is our driver tonight, the 46 car. He's a lap down, 36 seconds behind the next car in front of him. 2 pit stops, the only other car to have made 2 pit stops tonight besides Ken Copeland. So Eric Schulhoff for sticking around and still trying to finish this race with all these drivers. We salute you, my friend. But back up to the lead as it's really going to start to heat up now with about 3 laps to go, if I'm not mistaken.
Get ready to the keyhole.
Yeah, into the keyhole. Mike Dam still with the lead. Mitchell Peak chasing him, but that second pack is going to have an opening now just after those 2 racing through the S's.
Yeah, if these guys aren't careful, they could throw away their race altogether and give Camden Habit. He's in perfect striking distance for them to make just one little mistake. And, I've been waiting for this the entire race. We see ahead, and as we're right on board with Camden Habit, that Mike Dam was protecting the inside of turn 4. I was sitting there watching as we've seen so many passes happen in turn 4, and I was curious and thinking to myself, why aren't people protecting the inside to turn 4, knowing that the rest of it, if they're not alongside you in turn 4, throughout the S's, the Thunder Valley and Carousel, they're stuck behind you. So that was good heads up driving on Mike Dam there. Here we have Mitchell Peak. I'm wondering when he's going to strike again.
Well, I think the reason why some of these drivers aren't defending that inside line into turn number 4 is turn number 5. It's 2 S's, a right-hander into a left-hander. So if you don't defend the inside, the car that's trying to pass you gets to your inside for turn number 4, but then you're on the inside and you have the advantage heading into turn number 5, and you can just maintain that spot with minimal effort there. But 2 laps to go in this race. Camden Hibbett needs to help Mitchell Peak along to catch back up to Mike Damas. There's quite a considerable gap now, so Camden Hibbett, what he needs to do is push Mitchell Peak, not race him, but he'll go to the inside in the keyhole. This is exactly what Mike Dam needs.
We got contact.
They're gonna door each other into the corner, and that is going to allow Mike Dam to continue to pull away. Camden Hibbett is going to be able to get into second with minimal time loss there, so that could have been a lot worse for both drivers as they doored each other quite heavily heading into the keyhole.
I wonder how bad that ruined their exit.
It didn't ruin their exit at all. They're closing that gap. But this might ruin their gap if Camden Hibbett doesn't get clear here, and yes, he will, so it's not going to affect them too much. But those two need to stop racing each other and focus forward on Mike Dam if they want a shot at the win, because they still are for sure within striking distance if they can work together down that back straightaway on the final lap.
We talked about working together, but these guys are racers at heart. They're going to race each other to the bitter end, and unfortunately, the bad part about being a racer at heart is when you race each other to the bitter end, sometimes you let the leader get ahead. The person you guys are both trying to catch get a little too far ahead. Let's see if they can draft each other. They're still in Camden Hibbett's still in draft range of Mike Dam. Let's see if he can pull up onto this. He's been particularly quick out of the carousel and into the start-finish straight. Let's see if he can make up some time.
Yeah, white flag at the line. Mike Dam consistently has the best pace throughout the field, so Camden is going to need a miracle to pull this one off, and he's going to need some help from Mitchell Peak, no doubt. But Camden got a really nice turn 1 there. I think he'll be pushing this car as hard as he can to try and get a win at his home track. Mitchell Peak isn't going to be within striking distance on him. It's Camden Hibbett and Mike Dam for the win at the moment as they head through the keyhole and down the back straightaway for the final time.
Let's see who gets the better drive. Let's see who's going to get Sendy on the last lap, as I like to call it. Who's going to make the risky move? Is there going to be a risky move? This is when races are won and races are lost. Taking these risky moves that could be coming. Could make or break your race here.
Yeah, Camden going to play it safe, though, through the S's. He needs a good run out of these corners. If he wants a shot, he gets really loose there, but that helped him through that corner. Still trying to close the gap down now through turn number 6 and into 7. Thunder Valley is going to be the most important exit of the race. Yeah, he got loose again. He's starting to bleed time to Mike Dam now as they head through Thunder Valley for the final time. That was Camden's most important exit, and so far it looks to be going the way of the number 93 car through the kink for the final time and into the carousel for the final time. Mike Dam just needs to take it easy through this corner, but Camden is going to send it. Camden sends it up the inside, but he's not going to get there. Mike Dam is going to win after the greatest recovery race I've ever seen at Mid-Ohio. Fantastic effort from him. Made a mistake on the opening lap, fell back outside of the top 10, and pits early and gets to the end of the race to win from Mid-Ohio. Jose Gonzalez, no, this could open the door for Orlando Harrell. Jose needs to get back on track. Here comes Orlando.
He's going to send it.
Is going to win in the open class of Mid-Ohio.
The guy who drives the longest stint any of us have ever witnessed in a Spec-5 race. Wow, he comes back and just got lucky at the end.
I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah.
That, I don't even know what happened there.
Can we replay that?
I saw Otis Adams Jr. was slow through the carousel. Otis Adams Jr. was slow in front of Jose Gonzalez through the carousel. We're looking at it right now. There you see Otis Adams Jr. Otis gets loose, slams the brakes, and Jose Gonzalez just nowhere to go. He's already committed to the corner and just couldn't get the car back on track soon enough. He does get it back on track and might have been able to gas it up there, but he just gets too sideways and has to settle for second. That absolutely sucks for Jose Gonzalez. That's very unfortunate for him as the final cars come to cross the line.
It does, and he drove a good race, and unfortunately, with how this new grass model is with iRacing, it just is, when you're driving on grass, it's like driving on ice. It's super unpredictable, and he did good to keep the car alive and not make another driver's mistake and end to his race.
Yeah,
so he did good there, and Orlando Harrell just being able to go, he ended up going 24 laps.
I think so, something like that. It's just absolutely incredible. But Jose Gonzalez did the best as he could there to try and get that race car on track, just like you said with the new iRacing grass model. But Mike Dam, your overall winner after a shot from Cameron Hibbett into the carousel. He tried sending it, couldn't get there though. Cameron Hibbett will end up second, Mitchell Peak in third, Michael Coates in fourth, Ronnie Coates in fifth, Rui Coimbra in sixth, Jordy Fike in seventh, Sean Hayes in eighth, David Staub in ninth, Zach Burke in 10th, Greg Mack in 11th, Otis Adams Jr. in 12th, Orlando Harrell wins in the open class after a final corner mistake from Jose Gonzalez just to squeak him out at the line. Orlando Harrell in 13th, Jose Gonzalez in 14th, Paulo Coimbra in 15th, Brian Zabelski in 16th, Ken Copeland in 17th, Lee Martin in 18th, a little bit further behind them, Andrew Gilliland in 19th, Charles Vaccaro in 20th, Eugenio Bellici in 21st, Jerry DiPiero in 22nd, Tom Athan in 23rd, Andrew Kosick at his home track just didn't go the way he wanted it to in 24th. Eric Schulhoff, our back marker salute for tonight in 25th. Ray Lombardi continues to show us that he absolutely hates this track there in 26th. David Tamira looks like did not start the race. He'll end up 27th. But Steven, we're going to start to get to some interviews. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe you are on standby with our overall race winner, Mike Dam. We'll see if we can pull him in.
Yeah. Hey, Mike Dam. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
I've got questions for you.
Okay.
So after your first lap, if I remember correctly, it was the first lap slide. You just kind of cooked it going into the keyhole a little much and went off track.
Yes, sir.
What was going through your head?
Oh, I thought I blew the race. Yeah, that's really not a place to go on lap one, and I kind of, dropped at least mid-pack.
You were P15 when you got back on the track. My question is, what made you? What were you thinking? Hey, I'm going to pit early. What made you decide to pit early? Was it kind of a hope and prayer, Hail Mary type situation, or what? Talk me through that decision making process there.
So honestly, I figured instead of trying to work my way up through the pack, that was going to be really difficult. Everybody was pretty close on times. I figured I would save as much fuel as I could. Just sitting behind, I think it was Sean there. And yeah, pit as early as I could. And then just run clean laps. Try to just, bring down that gap. Hopefully I could be up with the leaders when they came out. And it really worked out perfectly. They were all coming out on my inside going around T1. So really tight stuff.
Well, I mean, you also do hold the fastest lap of the race at a 1:35.73. So you really showed that you had the pace there. I mean, and you drove a great race, and the strategy that just worked for you there. And it was good to see, talk me through these last couple laps with your battle with Camden.
Oh, first, I want a big shout out to Mitch, Mitchell Peak there. Like, he just had some insane pace, even like before I was last couple of laps there. So he was just gaining like 3 or 4 tenths on me a lap. Like, that's insane. But I was luckily able to hold him off, and then Camden, was able to get by him. And man, it was really tough. I felt like maybe the downside of my strategy was I cooked the tires mid-stint. So that was really a struggle to hold Mitch and Camden.
Okay, one final question before we get to your shout outs and all that stuff. Did you take tires in your pit?
No, I did not.
All right. Alex, you got any other questions, or are we just going to get them right into shout outs?
No, I don't, but just congratulations on the win, Mike. That was absolutely insane for me to take the win there.
Thank you very much.
All right, Mike, you got anybody you want to shout out to or anything you want to say before we let you go?
Yeah, just all the guys in this league. They make it what it is. It's a heck of a lot of fun. My teammates out of Ryan, Jordy, Fike for putting this thing on with, there's a couple other guys as part of the admin group. Just great night, great all around time. So, and thanks to you guys for broadcasting.
All right. Well, congratulations again, Mike, on your win. And you had a great, you ran, in my opinion, the perfect race strategy and the perfect race to come around with that overall win. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
All righty. Thank you, sir. Have a good one, guys.
You too, Mike. All right. We're going to go ahead and bring Camden in, the P2 finisher from the pro class. Hey, Camden, how was that race for you?
Wow, yeah, it was wild. I was telling Mike in the interview room, I'm out of breath. That was really tough trying to chase them down at the end there. I was full pace, qualifying times. Huge shout out to Mike Dam. He ran an awesome race. He had insane pace all race long. But yeah, it was a really fun race. I messed up the pit stop a little bit. Was a little slow on my roll into the box. Put me back in the lead pack, and it's just so hard to pass here. Excuse me, because the draft is just not. It looks like there's a bunch of draft, but the draft doesn't give you enough time to really pull out a make and move. So you really got to use some techniques, or really just throw it in there. I know. I apologize to Mitch heading into the keyhole. On going for second final laps there, we made contact, but that's how that race was, and we were just back and forth. And huge shout out to Mike Dam. It was an awesome race by him.
Well, I mean, you just answered like 3 of my questions in one. So, what I want to know is, when you came in on the last lap, exiting the carousel, what was the judgment call that you decided not to send it all the way?
I didn't want to wreck him. That's the main thing. I knew he was going to take a wide entry because that's what he had been doing that whole last stint. And I figured if I could get close enough to make his spotters call car right, I may have a shot. But I certainly didn't want to wreck him for that. It's not worth it. At this point, I'm going to need just a lot of consistent finishes if I'm going to do anything points wise. Because of the incident at Suzuka and Spa. But yeah, it was just I was just kind of hoping that he would go wide and get free, and that I could sneak through on the right side like I did earlier in the race on Zach Burke. I was kind of going for that same game plan. It just didn't work out.
You know, I mean that's some good heads up racing though, to be able to make that determination on the fly of, hey, I'm going to do this, but oh wait, nope, that door's closing and backing off and saving both of your guys' race. I mean, you ran a real great race. You showed great pace. You know, it shows a lot to the type of drivers that we have in this league. What I'm going to end this off with is, do you have any shout outs that you want to give, or anything you want to say?
Yeah, huge thanks to my my mom and dad, obviously, Kevin King, David Cook, my real life coach Chris Noons. If you're watching, thanks. Yeah, it's been a wild journey here. Obviously, you guys here at SMB. Every, I wasn't gonna miss you guys. Everyone, all the admins at Spec-5. It's been an awesome season so far. Looking forward to keeping it going.
Oh, good. I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season, and hopefully we get you in here again.
Hey, Camden, quick question. One more question for you, then we'll let you go, man, I promise. Obviously, your real-life Spec-5 days are coming back alive. We're back in racing season now, man, and I saw April 27th. I believe I saw April 27th and 28th. You're going to be here running the Miata. Are you excited for this season kicking off?
Yeah, next race.
May 27th.
Yeah, May is the first race here. I think we have a race out in Colorado. If there's any Colorado viewers,
I'm
Pueblo.
currently in Colorado. God, you're going to Pueblo?
Yep.
Word of advice: stay in Colorado Springs.
10-4. Yeah, we're going to Pueblo in a few weeks, and then about a month after that, we come here for my first real life race at Mid Ohio. Home track for me. I live about half hour, 45 minutes from here, so. I was really looking for a win here, but I'll take second. It was an awesome race, and yeah, looking forward to coming here in real life. It's gonna be fun.
All right, thanks, Camden, so much for your time, and good luck. Good luck out there in the real world, my man. I'm gonna be watching you this season, that's for sure.
Thanks, everybody.
Good luck, Camden.
Thanks, guys.
All right, let's bring in Orlando Harrell, the Open class winner. Hey, Orlando, how was your race?
Excellent. I cannot ask for more.
Okay, I gotta know, how in the world did you go that long on a stint?
A lot of patience, taking care of my car, and keep going.
I mean,
Keep it clean.
we're sitting here as we're watching you, you know, as the pit cycle started, and we're like, okay, he's gonna pit this lap. No, he didn't pit this lap. I mean, we probably said that 4 or 5 times. I mean, we were shocked.
I keep watching my gas and try to go smooth as I can, so I can keep extending the gasoline. It was good.
No, that's it's a good strategy. You got some bunch of extra points for laps led there. Walk me through what your plan was. That your plan from the start?
Yes, always try to extend the gas and keep the car completely smooth, no crashing, no getting out of the track. Like last week, I was terrible over there, but Mid Ohio is an excellent racetrack, and I really enjoy. And usually, everybody's very good in here.
Hey,
we saw. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Orlando. Got a quick question here before I hand you back off to Steven, man. I've seen you in the YouTube chats here recently, and it's really cool to see you out there racing now with these Spec-5 guys. And I'm not saying watching is a bad thing. Promise, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. But it was great to see you out there, and you're starting to get some great results, man. Can you keep this up the rest of the season? Did it take a little bit of getting used to in this car? Have you driven the car before you joined Spec-5?
This is the first time I ever have a race, a Spec Miata. This is my first time, but then during the day, I practice in iRacing and I'm getting comfortable with this car. Let's say that. Uh, it's a very good car to race. You had to learn it, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, I think you're doing a great job at that, Orlando. Steven, I'm handing it back over to you.
So my last question before we turn it over to you for shout outs is, on that last lap entering the carousel, how happy were you knowing that you were so close to taking the lead?
Well, that was extraordinary. I feel sorry for Jose because he was way ahead of me, and I decided, no, this is the last lap. I'm not going to catch him, so let me slow down, and then everything break loose, and I feel sorry for Jose. Excellent driver, but I'm joking. I'm joking. um, Extremely happy. Let's say that.
And I'm assuming this is your first win in the Spec-5 League.
Yes.
So I want to say is, congratulations, not only on your first win, not only on winning the open class, but on your first win. Let's hope that this is the start of many more. So before we let you go here, do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Well, just thank you to every single person who put these races together, and this excellent racing is it's beyond of gratitude for all of you. Thank you.
Oh, you are most welcome. When we enjoy doing it, and we hope to see you in here next week. And again, congratulations on your win, and congratulations on getting your first win, Orlando.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Hey, Jose, I had to get you in here, man. Heartbreaking. We just finished with Orlando Harrell, man. Last corner, last lap. Walk us through what happened. You had a perfect, almost seamless race until that point.
Yeah, kind of sucked. I was trying to play it safe behind Otis and Greg, and Otis lost it at the last turn there, and there's no way to know where he was going, and I ended up hitting him, and I went out with him.
So let's talk about Otis. Let's talk about Otis real quick. You guys are all part of that Not a Team chat. Were there any words exchanged after Otis lost it? I know there wasn't much he could do, but heat of the moment. Was there any type of team rivalry after that?
Oh no, man. We're all good friends. We're all personally know each other in real life, so no, not at all. I mean, there's nothing he could do. It just it happens.
Yeah, it absolutely does, Jose. Again, heartbreaking for you, man. I saw you up there in the interview waiting booth. Wanted to drag you down here for just a little bit. But before we let you go, we're running pretty short on time here, Jose. Sorry we can't get you a longer interview, but anybody you want to thank or shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, definitely you guys and the guys from Not a Team, man. They're doing great. Good practice with them,
Yep, absolutely. Jose, I'm sure we will talk to you again before the end of the season, but it's kind of bittersweet telling you congratulations for a P2, but you were still able to bring it home in P2 in the open class.
It's always next week, Adam.
Absolutely, Jose. Hey, have a great night, man.
Have a good night, guys.
Go ahead, Alex.
And that was absolutely incredible race. Heartbreak for Jose Gonzalez. Great stories to talk about post-race. Congrats to Orlando Harrell and Mike Dam, our winners tonight. Steven, what's your take on it?
Man, what a good, clean race we had there. It was, bumper to bumper action from start to finish. This is a challenging track. It doesn't look like it, but all these as you mentioned in the as we were opening, the elevation changes really make this track challenging. And 45 minutes in, going around in circles essentially, sometimes you can get a little complacent. We didn't see a whole lot of bad mistakes here. We only had one car retire from the race, and it was a good race.
It was a really good race, but For your upcoming broadcast this Sunday, March 5th at 8:10 p.m. EST, the Cross Series League Racing Championship returns for their second round in the dirt road portion of the schedule with the Pro 2 light trucks at the Daytona Rallycross Circuit. Going to be a show to watch there this Tuesday, March 7th at 8:45 p.m. EST. The WSRL Series returns with the GTP, LMP2, and GT3 cars from Sebring International Raceway. Then alongside that, the American Muscle Series returns once again on Tuesday, March 7th at 9:10 p.m. EST for the Mustang FR 500s at Snetterton Circuit. Going to be a very interesting race. That track is known to be very blind for a lot of drivers. Honestly,
that track is tricky.
Yeah, it's a very difficult track for me. Me personally, I really don't like driving there. It's just every corner is very blind. So we'll see how the drivers decide to handle that track in their big V8 Ford Mustang muscle cars. But next Thursday, March 9th at 9:15 p.m. EST. You'll catch us up in the booth once again a week from now for the Spec-5 World Tour, Race 9 of Season 12 for the Mazda MX-5 Cup cars from the Nürburgring Nordschleife. That's going to be a pretty interesting show, so we'll see what happens there. But for now, that is going to do it for us. I'm not very smart. I'm not very smart. Did you say that in the actual chat?
I did not, but I'm here now in OBS. I'm now transmitting to everybody. I am very upset with you, Alex, that you forgot
Adam,
the primary sponsor of this league.
Hey. I'm telling you right now, it is not in the broadcast notes. I had no idea.
It is in the broadcast notes.
It is not.
All right, anyways, guys, I'll go ahead and do the sponsor read real quick. It is brought to you, the Spec-5 World Tour has been brought to you this season and this race by the one, the only, none other than Slow Motion Broadcasting. Slow Motion Broadcasting came to fruition by two iRacing league owners who found themselves wanting to provide a professional quality broadcast at a price that is approachable to any and all league owners. Big or small, Slow Motion Broadcasting will work with your league to ensure all of your league broadcasting needs are satisfied. You can come check us out at www.slowmotionbroadcasting.com, shown there on the screen as well. Also, live race control has been added into the SMB arsenal and custom car paints for iRacing as well. So again, www.slowmotionbroadcasting.com to get a hold of the team, or if you want to commentate or produce, do what these wonderful gentlemen have been doing tonight, you can also go to slowmotionbroadcasting.com and fill out an application, and we will get you guys involved with the team. Alex, back to you. Cannot believe you.
I apologize. I apologize. I did not scroll down to the last page of the broadcast notes. I saw the schedule on the 4th page and thought that was it. So I see it's on the 5th page now, so that I hopefully will not miss that next week. But I might be fired after that one, so you guys might not see me up in the booth next week. So if you don't, and this is my last time up here, it's been a good run. But anyways, my name is Alex Andersen. I've been joined in the commentary booth by Stephen Finch with Adam Thompson in our virtual production truck. And for round 8 of season 12 of the Spec-5 World Tour from the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, have a good night.
So Patrick, do we describe this for everybody, Rob?
What?
You describe it. You describe it.
What?
I do enough talking.
I think any car's dead in iRacing. I think it's gone.
Oh, it's definitely. I agree. It's not going to survive much. But I still think we'll find opportunities to race it, just not as fruitful as before. some of your like some of them just want to like make. What's the thing? Like that guy wanted to make like dolls out of Tyler's hair, but then there's just other guys who are just like. He did. He would say weird things to Tyler, man. Like he was a strange guy. And then like other guys would just show up and he's like, "Oh, we never met you? Sure, come race this 24 with us." And then you just jump in the car and wreck us out in a lap and be like, "Okay, never see you again."
Yeah, that
like,
was
okay. Well, better luck next year, I guess.
That was the guy from